So today we're going to use slope of linear equation in two variables. Oh wait, welcome back to Algebra 1. This is purely Algebra 1, maybe Algebra 2. Maybe that's all the higher level we're going with this again, but it's just to review one more time. Now, where would you ever use slope in real life or need to write an equation that's linear ever in real life? Raise your hand and tell me. Whitney.
Okay, if you're doing graph of like an increasing function, then you have to like say what the logarithm is increasing function.
Okay. Okay. That is a good one. Sales production chart. What? Accounting maybe? Okay. Here's one that I do it in no matter what. My mortgage. I want to figure out exactly how much I owe, and if I pay this much extra every month, when will I pay it off? So I pay $20 extra a month every month. Will I still take 30 years? No, I'll only be taking like 25 years. Okay? So a car, a house, college payments, those are all where you could be using this in real life. So what I want to do right now is to find the equation that goes through these 2 points. So go ahead and write those 2 points down. And raise your hand to tell me what item I would need to be finding first. Mallory. I need to find the slope. So for anybody that forgot, my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, as I was grading your essential work from the other night, and you guys were doing the distance formula, I realized that some of you are mixing up points. So one thing I'm going to recommend, label your points. x1, y1, x2, y2. Then I will always plug them into the correct spot. So after you label them, take a minute, plug them in, find the slope. Plug them in, find the slope. So Mallory, you were the one that went and volunteered to tell me what I need to find first. So who do you want to pick to tell me what the slope is? Trevor, what's the slope? 2. Do you all agree? Okay, you guys can say yes, it's okay. Okay, I know you gave me that, but you can say, even though we're still recording, it's all right. So I've got 2. Now, what do I need to do next? I've got a couple options. What would I need to do next to help me out here? All right, Mallory, go for it again. Okay, point plus form works well. Which would be y2 I'm sorry, let's try that again. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You don't have to use that formula. Some of you don't like that formula. Some of you like that second formula. Well, you're at the level now where you can use either one, and I really don't care. Whatever one you like best. But I am going to ask you which point do you like the best. So Trevor, pick somebody. Saka, which of those 2 points do you like better? You like the first one. Why? Liam.
Second one.
Why?
Because there's no negative numbers.
I don't like negative numbers either. They're harder to work with, right? For the most part. So I'm going to pick the second one. But if you like the first one, like Sacco said, you can use the first one. I don't care. I'm going to fill it into this formula. So y minus, my y1 is now going to be that number 8. My m is 2. And I have x minus 2. Now, don't know what happened there. But I'm also going to fill those same numbers in over here. So my y is going to be 8 equals 2 times 2 plus b.
Wouldn't it be y minus y plus 6 because it's y minus y1?
Now, we actually chose the second point because I liked it better. But if you were using this point here, Sacco, yes, this should be y plus 6. And this should be x plus 5. I agree. Depending on what point you're using. You could, yes. They should all give us the same answer. But on this one, I'm going to distribute the 2. So I get 2x minus 4. I'm going to add 8. And I get this lovely equation. I like this form because the equation comes out and I'm done. On this form, I need to now subtract 4. And I get b equals 4. But once I get that, I must rewrite it into y equals 2x plus 4. So it doesn't matter which form you use. Make sense? Pretty simple? So now let's talk about slope, parallel, perpendicular. Make yourself a little chart real quick. Okay, so I have this lovely chart here. That way we can practice parallel, perpendicular. And I've got slope. We're going to make up slope. Logan, favorite number today? 7. 7 seems to be a favorite number of a lot of people, so that's my slope. So now we need to figure out the parallel and the perpendicular slope. Justin, what's the parallel slope? Take a guess. No? 7. Parallel means the exact same. The slopes are going to be perfectly the same. Okay, raise your hand to tell me the perpendicular slope then. Brandon? -1 over 7. So far, so good? Okay. Brandon, favorite fraction of the day? Okay. Go ahead and fill those in for me, everyone. And so here are my two answers, 1/2 and -2. I've got one more for you. Let's do -2/3. So parallel, -2 over 3. Perpendicular, 3 over 2. Help jog your memory a bit. Okay? So now let's find the equation of the line passing through the point perpendicular to. So write down your key information that you need. You don't have to write the entire question if you don't want to. But you do need to write down the key information. I would write point and I would write perpendicular to and then the equation. What do I need to find first in order to figure out perpendicular? Whitney. The slope. Whitney, do you have any ideas on how I would find this slope? Like what form do I need to get this in? Well, technically this is standard form. Which is called, does anybody remember the form? Slope intercept. Slope intercept. So we need to get y by itself. So take a minute and solve that equation for y. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this for y. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So I get -3y equals -5x plus 8. I'm going to divide everything by -3. Here's the best part. This over here, this 8 over 3, I don't care about it at all. I only care about the -5 over 3, over -3. So my current slope is +5/3, right? What's the perpendicular slope? Brandon? Negative 3 over 5. So the slope I'm going to use is negative 3 over 5. And the point that I'm going to use is right here. Let's put that into point slope form so you can get the equation. Go ahead and do that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in that point slope formula. So y minus 1 equals negative 3/5 times x. Now, what sign should I put here since that's a minus 4? I agree. Now I'm going to do this completely without a calculator so you guys can see how I do this. I'm going to distribute this. So negative 3/5 x. I'm going to put a 1 underneath this 4. 3 times 4 is 12 over 5. So I get y minus 1 equals 12 equals that stuff there. And now I'm just going to add 1, which is actually like adding what over what? 5 over 5. So I get y equals negative 3 over 5 x. 12 and 5 make 7, right? Minus 7 over 5. And that's it. Now the question, what if it had said parallel? What slope would I use? Somebody raise your hand. I got lots of them. Go with Justin. 5/3. Good. So go ahead and use 5/3 in that point and find the parallel line at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and start this while you are still working at your seat with it. Y minus 1 again equals, but this time we'll use 5/3 x plus 4. So y minus 1 equals 5/3 x plus 20 over 3. Now when I add 1, I'm like adding 3 over 3. So y equals 5/3 x plus 23 over 3. Yes, they're ugly fractions, but once I showed you it on the first one, how many of you thought the second one was easy because now you understood the fraction part? Good. I'm trying to make it so it's not too complicated. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel good with being able to work with those fractions and not do too much with them though. Okay. So here I've got an equation, y equals 7, and I've got 3 comma negative 2. So I've got an equation, I've got a point. Hopefully that'll help us a little bit because we're going to write the parallel line and we're going to write the perpendicular line. This is always tricky for students. If I give you just one letter, notice there's no slope now, right? What is the slope if y equals 7? Justin? Oh, okay. Whitney? It is 0. And to help us out to remember that, I actually wrote down our lovely famous word, Hooiva. You had me last year, I tried to scare everything out of you by saying Hooiva, right? So this is a y equals equation. It's a horizontal line and the slope is 0. If that had been x equals, it'd be undefined and it'd be a vertical line. So the parallel line, would it be horizontal or would it be vertical? It would be. And what letter always goes with horizontal? Okay. So I know this has to be y equals. Parallel means it has to have that same letter, more or less. And let's make this really easy. Ryan, what does y equal in that point I gave you? In the point, 3 comma negative 2. Which one's y? So that's my equation right there. That's it. Okay? Because it can only have one letter. So perpendicular though. Perpendicular. Well, you told me this one was horizontal. So perpendicular means it now needs to be vertical. And vertical is with which letter? X. So we'll write x equals, and Leanne, what does x equal in the point? 3. Now, I'm gonna show you one more way. Because I've already got a couple questions in the back which are good. Okay, but I wanna give you another way because some of you are visual learners, so this may actually work for you. Okay, I'm gonna graph this. 3, -2. I'm also gonna graph that line, y equals 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I gotta go through that y-axis. So right there it is. So if I want the horizontal line, if I want the parallel line, it has to also look the same way, right? What axis did I go through? The y-axis, right? And at what number? -2. There's my parallel line. Just by graphing it, I found it. Let me do it another one. The perpendicular. Perpendicular. Do you agree that's 90 degrees? What line's it going through? What axis? X. At what number? So you have a couple options with that parallel and perpendicular to get that. No. What if this had been x equals a number? Parallel will be x equals. So parallel is the exact same, and perpendicular will be the opposite. Okay? Does that help? So we talked about that a couple different ways. Hopefully that helps. Our last one. I want to buy a new car, but I only have $25,290. I'm sorry, I'm a teacher. We don't make millions of dollars. That's all I could save up. After 11 years, I have to replace the car. Its value at that time is expected to be $1,200. So after 11 years, I only get $1,200 for this. What is the linear equation that matches this model? Well, if I'm talking this year right now, what x value could I give this year right now? I could, but I'm way lazy than that. I could, but still I'm lazy. I'm going to call this year 0. Does that work for you guys? So at year 0, my car is worth $25,290. If that's one point, can you write the other point now? At year 11, it's $1,200. That makes sense? So I buy it right now, times 0. And it's this much. In 11 years, it's this much. So if I'm trying to write an equation, what do I need to find? What two things are in an equation, a linear equation? Justin. Slope? What else? What else is in a linear equation? You've given me m, the y-intercept. Do I have either of them already? I have the y-intercept, don't I? What is it? If x is 0, this must be my y-intercept, isn't it? So I automatically know B is 25,290. Yes, I could use one of those points, find the slope, and do the point-slope form. This is me being quicker at my stuff. What else? I still need to find the slope, right? Take 1 minute, find the slope. Alright, so I asked you to find the slope real quick. And what did you say it was again? -2,190. So I get y equals -2,190x plus 25,290. I'm just wondering, what does this -2,190 mean? It is my slope, but what does it mean in real life here? How much my car depreciates every year. So after the first year, I lose $2,190. After the second year, I lose it again. Why is it helpful to have a model? Why is this going to ever be helpful to me? Yeah, I want to know when to sell my car so that I can have the best value to buy my next one. I don't want to wait until my car falls apart and then try to buy one. Now it's worth $0. That's great. Now I have to pay full price. Okay, so maybe instead of me deciding 11 years down the line I'll do it, instead I'll say 6 years down the line or something like that. So that model really helps. Okay, so that's linear equations. Again, by the way, that took you 2 weeks in Algebra 2, and I'm pretty sure in Algebra 1 it took like 5 or 6 weeks. We did it in 1 day. Still pretty good with it? That's because you had awesome algebra teachers earlier in your life. I'm not even including me. I said algebra. I'm counting 1. So at this time, here is your essential work. 6 problems, only 6 problems.